Hi, I'm Amanda Awakens. I make content to uplift and empower Black women, and sometimes that includes how to navigate the interracial dating scene. Other times that involves how to heal from past trauma through intentional living and shadow work. Hey y'all, so this is Editing Amanda, just coming on to say rest in peace, young Dolph. Gone way too soon. Way too soon. Rest in peace, rest in power, rest in paradise. Today, I am sharing with you my absolute worst interracial dating experience. So let's get started. So it all started where all of the usually starts on Plenty of Fish. I was talking to this one boy. Let's say his name was Danny Tanner, and he was all of the things that always get me jammed up. Nice eyes, tall, and funny. The first warning sign that I ignored, I just flat out overlooked it, was that on his profile, it said that he had a BWC. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all look that up if you don't already know what that means. And believe it or not, at the time, I didn't even look it up. I just went with it. Forgive me, y'all. I was younger and dumber back then. I hadn't done my shadow work. I hadn't been through therapy. I hadn't had in like 6 or 7 months. I was down bad. Anyway, so after talking to Danny Tanner for a couple days online, and then we text here and there, and I think we had a phone call in between, we decided to finally meet up in person. And look, I was hyped. I'm talking, I really was feeling this guy. Like from the conversations that we had, even though it was in a short interval of time, I really was digging the dude. So I got all dolled up and everything for this first date. And if I have a picture from that night, I'll make sure to insert it somewhere on the screen. So I get to the restaurant and you know, it's cute, it's real low key, and Danny Tanner's already there. And you know what, I'm gonna give him this. For all of his ignorance, Danny Tanner was fine. That's the one thing I can't take away from him, even though everything else is takeawayable. Oh, we get a few drinks and we get to chatting and just getting to know one another better when he has to ask the first fatal question. Have you ever been with a white guy before? And I'm like, yeah, have you? And he's like, oh no, of course not. I was just asking because I've never been with a black girl before. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? And you know, what's crazy is that Jonathan Taylor Thomas literally had no clue at this point what he was doing. You don't know people like that, right? Like who don't understand the assignment, who are in the wrong class, who don't even go to the school.
He doesn't even go here.
And so we're both quiet for a couple minutes. He gets another drink, I get another drink. I needed another drink at that point and another drink. And then this man looks me in my natural born face and has the nerve to say, did you look at what I wrote on my profile? And I'm like, you're from New Hampshire? He's like, no. And I'm like, you're 6'2"? He wasn't. And he's like, no, the other thing. And I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? And he points down and smirks. And y'all, in that moment, I knew.
Oh.
And you know, 99% of me was like, what the f? And 1% of me was like, tell me more. No, in all seriousness, at that point, I knew it was time to go. But I was gonna finish my drink and I was gonna make that $20 Uber ride worth its money. So I'm just like, oh, okay. And again, Corey Matthews just could not take the hint, like not at all. And then he says, as if he's doing me some kind of favor by clarifying his nastiness, I just wanted to let you know because of what you're probably used to. And I'm just sitting here like counting up the microaggressions, the macroaggressions, the middle aggressions, like all of that. It's literally like homeboy was reading a book of racist things to say on your first date. So we finish up our drinks and I don't know, we might have got some food or whatever. And let me be clear, I already had my Uber ready to come pick me up before the tab was even put down. Like it was a wrap, it was a wrap. And when we go outside and I'm waiting on my Uber, he looks over at me and he's like, so, you want to go back to my place? And 99.9% of me was like, hell no. There's like a 0.1% of me that was like, tell me more. I'm just kidding. Oh, but really, I tell him no. I say thanks for the drinks, but I have to go home. And that's when his face dropped. Like, Dawson Leary really thought I was going home with him that night. He thought he was about to get some of that exotica. So he goes, well, why not? And I'm like, because I'm not. And he starts to actually pout, like lips out, puckering. And then guess what he does? He leaves. That's right. He leaves. And thankfully, before he had even gotten like 10 feet away, which really it didn't matter if he was 10 feet or 10 miles, like the night was over long before that moment. But thankfully, my Uber was already there, swooped me up and scooped me up and took me back home. Oh, but wait, there's more. About 3 weeks later, guess who sends me a message? You got it. Old Chandler Bing is hitting up my phone, talking about, sorry about the other night. You know, I'm the type of person, like, unless I am just done foul, like, unless I'm done dirty, I try to end all situations as peacefully as I can. That's just the type of energy I always try to put out there into the world. Even when I'm ending things, I try to end it as amicably and peacefully as possible. So I say something along the lines of, it's cool and take care. And just before I'm about to put my phone on the charger and walk away, homeboy texts back and says, well, let me know if you're ever looking for some BWC. And that's when he got blocked.